Right. We're live from the garage. We had tons of games to talk about from last night. Yesterday was one of the best days ever, guys. I got my decision letter from the VA, and the Buffalo Sabres ended up stomping the shit out of the Blue Jackets. They got a 5-0 victory. Ellis got his first shutout ever. It's masterclass performance. And my boy, Josh Doan, got 2 goals. So it was a pretty nice day for me. But, yeah, we'll get right into it. Taking it from the top. Islanders, Maple Leafs were the first game of the day. We had the Islanders, who have lost several games in a row, kind of falling in the standings, playing against the Toronto Maple Leafs, who are mathematically eliminated. Islanders got a much-needed 5-3 victory. As I mentioned earlier, we have the Buffalo Sabres in the tight Atlantic Division race playing against the Blue Jackets, another team currently falling in the standings. Sabres got a 5-0 shutout victory at home. Another huge game in the Atlantic Division, guys. We had the Montreal Canadiens, Tampa Bay Lightning playing each other, currently tied in the standings with 102 points each. Canadiens got a 2-1 victory in regulation, so they were able to jump 2 full points ahead of the Lightning, so we're going to have a little bit of movement there. We had the Tkachuk Bowl, as I call it. Brady Tkachuk and the Senators taking on the Florida Panthers. Matthew Tkachuk, Florida Panthers, 2-time defending Stanley Cup world champions, suck this year. And the Ottawa Senators are holding on to the final wildcard spot. Apologies for the loud car coming through the neighborhood. Senators got a 5-1 victory, so Senators needed those points, trying to hold on to that wildcard spot. Flyers Red Wings, one of the biggest games of the afternoon. We had the Flyers, who have been streaking. They're now third place in the Metropolitan Division, taking on the Red Wings, who are doing Red Wing things and trying to blow their entire season. And the Red Wings did get a much-needed win against the Flyers. 6-3 is that final score. Pittsburgh Penguins, second in Metropolitan, playing against the New Jersey Devils, who are the most recent team to be mathematically eliminated in the East, and the Penguins got a 5-2 victory there. The Winnipeg Jets and the St. Louis Blues, this is an elimination game. I brought this up yesterday. These two teams are very much in the thick of this Western Conference wildcard race entering yesterday, but we only got 3-4 games left, so you cannot afford to drop points to people who are in the same race as you, more or less. If they're ahead of you in the standings, you cannot be dropping points to them, vice versa. So Jets ended up taking care of business, beating the Blues in regulation 3-2. Blues had to fire sale at the trade deadline, trade away their captain, trade away a bunch of players, and somehow started winning. They won enough games to actually be competitive and still be in the conversation this late into the season, which to me is a moral victory. Did they play the entire year as a playoff team? Absolutely not. They're one of the most disappointing teams all year round, but they did pick it up after the Olympic break, and I think that's commendable. They're headed in the right direction. But, yeah, Jets got the 3-2 victory and got a 2 full point advantage on the Blues. Hurricanes and Blackhawks, no surprise here. Hurricanes are the number 1 overall seed in the Eastern Conference, playing against the Chicago Blackhawks, who are in year 4 or 5 of a complete rebuild. Hurricanes got a 7-2 victory in Chicago. Another big matchup here in the Western Conference. We had the Dallas Stars, who have been about the second best team in hockey basically all year, playing against the Wild. It's a potential first-round matchup here, with the second and third place teams in the divisions playing against each other in the first round. Stars were able to get a 5-4 victory on the Minnesota Wild in regulation, I might add. So they got 2 points, widening the cushion against the Wild. Avalanche playing the Flames. Colorado's the best team in the NHL. They are going to win the President's Trophy, and they got a 3-1 victory over the Flames. Huge game here. The 2 Western Conference wildcard teams currently played against each other. Utah Mammoth were able to secure the 4th playoff berth in the Western Conference. So they got a 4-1 victory over the Preds, and Utah Mammoth are in. They are in the playoffs. Good for them. Another huge game for a Western Conference wildcard team. San Jose Sharks on the outside looking in. They've gone on winning streaks. They've gone on losing streaks. They've kind of been up and down all year. To me, they're a lot further ahead than where I think they probably anybody would have thought they would have been at the beginning of the season. But they're kind of losing games at the wrong time of the year. And they did that again when they played against the Anaheim Ducks and lost 6-1. Anaheim had lost, I want to say, 6 games in a row up to this point. Anaheim had fallen out of first place in the Pacific and are now currently third, and they desperately needed to win, and they got it. So they got that win against the Sharks 6-1, and then Kraken and the Golden Knights. Golden Knights are second place in the Pacific. Kraken are basically out. I don't know if they're mathematically eliminated, but they were able to hold on and get a shootout victory over the Golden Knights 4-3. And then the final game of the evening was the Los Angeles Kings, one game out of that wild card spot. They played against the worst team in hockey, the Vancouver Canucks, and they were able to get a 4-1 victory. So there's going to be some movement. We will reflect those changes as soon as we look at these wild card standings. So we'll explain this again. If you're unfamiliar with how this board's laid out, this side of the board has the top 3 in each of the divisions. Those are all the automatic playoff berths. If you finish top 3 in your division, you automatically get a spot. You have the Pacific Division teams, the Central Division teams, the Atlantic Division teams, and the Metropolitan Division teams. We then have the 2 wildcard teams in the Western Conference, and then the wildcard teams in order. The 2 wildcard teams in the East, and then the wildcard teams in order. So, first things first, start off with the Central Division. Colorado and NHL leading, 114 points, and they have clinched the President's Trophy as of now. So they will have the best record in the NHL. Dallas, 106 points. Minnesota, 102 points. In the Pacific, nothing's changed there. Edmonton has 90 points, and Vegas and Anaheim each with 89 points. So that division's up for grabs. All the teams in the Pacific Division have played 79 games, so all of them have 3 games remaining. In the West Wildcard, we have Utah Mammoth with 90 points. The LA Kings jump over the Nashville Predators for that final spot. Seems like one of these teams wins, one of these teams loses every night, and then we swap those teams out. Winnipeg jumps over San Jose, who lost. Huge games, guys. Every single game now changes where you are at in the standings. Winnipeg now in the 10th place position. San Jose with 81. St. Louis with 78 points, Seattle with 77, and then Calgary, Chicago, and Vancouver all mathematically eliminated, 73, 70, and 52, respectively. Eastern Conference, we have the Buffalo Sabres with 106 points. We have the Montreal Canadiens with 104. They passed Tampa Bay with that head-to-head victory. And Tampa Bay with 102. Worth noting here that Buffalo's played 80 games. They only have 2 remaining. And Montreal and Tampa Bay have each played 79. So they do have a game in hand on the division-leading Buffalo Sabres. In the Metropolitan Division, we have the Carolina Hurricanes with 108. Pittsburgh Penguins with 98. And the Philadelphia Flyers with 92. All 3 of these teams have clinched a playoff berth. These top 2 teams have clinched a playoff berth. So effectively, we have 3 spots left in the East and a ton of teams trying to get in. Eastern Conference wildcard standings are as follows. Boston Bruins with 96 points. Ottawa Senators with 94 points. The Columbus Blue Jackets actually fall another 2 spots after losing yet again. We have Detroit. Got that much-needed win. They moved to the first team out. They're 3 points out with 91 points. New York Islanders are also there with 91 points. And now Columbus with 90 points, 4 points out. Followed by the Washington Capitals with 89 points. New Jersey with 83. Florida with 78. Passes Toronto. Also has 78, but fewer regulation wins. And then the New York Rangers with 75. So that's what the standings look like today. We can go by who's hot and who's not. Buffalo's won 3 in a row. Tampa Bay's lost 3 in a row. Pittsburgh's won 3 in a row. Boston has lost 4 in a row. Still has a 2-point advantage in the wild card, at least for that first wild card spot. They have 5-point advantage on the Detroit Red Wings, so that's safe for now. It would take them probably losing out and Detroit winning out for that to change anything, but Florida and Toronto have each lost 4 in a row. That's pretty much it for hot and not. Best last 10 in the Eastern Conference is Montreal with 9-1. Worst last 10 in the Eastern Conference is the Columbus Blue Jackets with 2-7-1. I mean, they were firmly in control of their own destiny and then decided to go on massive losing streak and sabotage their season, kind of like the Detroit Red Wings. But, yep. In the West, Utah is on a 5-game winning streak. Winnipeg and LA are each on 3-game winning streaks. Vancouver's lost 4 in a row. And that's pretty much the only major losing streak. Hottest team in the last 10 in the West, we have Colorado and Utah, each at 7-3 in their last 10. Coldest team in the West, no surprise here. Vancouver Canucks are 1-9 with 0 overtime losses in those 9 losses. All 9 of those losses in regulation. So, yeah, it's Friday. Kind of sucks. We have 0 hockey on today. But that means we're going to have a pretty big slate on Saturday. Decent slate on Sunday. Monday. And then by next Thursday, so 6 days from today, we'll have the final day of the regular season. Then we will turn this into the playoff bracket board. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching, and don't forget, like, subscribe, leave a comment, and most importantly, watch hockey. It's good for you.